Okay, let's continue with our discussion, no? It is the part 2 of our week 4. So, the last topic or the last presentation we're talking to is about the coastal state power. So, again, alam naman natin na under the coastal state power, uh, and coastal state power under the continental shelf and seabed, that it may have exclusive rights and coastal state to find and extract resources tulad ng mga langis and oil. And also the mineral resources na nakikita nila under the water. So for our continental shelf and seabed, ship rights and responsibilities naman. So under the continental shelf seabed, ships have the freedom to navigate and to lay submarine cables or pipelines under the water. So, however, they must avoid interfering with the coastal state activities such as the mining or the oil drilling. And for example, ships can lay internet cables on the seabed of the Berham Rise, but they must not damage the Benham Rise, but the Philippine resource activities just like oil and extraction. Again, foreign ships can lay internet cables on the seabed or the Benham Rise, but they must not damage or disrupt the Philippine resource activities in the oil extraction that they're doing too. So pwede silang gumawa, they have the permission, but then again, kailangan nilang iwasan na magkaroon ng damage doon sa ating seabed, no? Kahit na they are permitted but they are not permitted to do such a damage on the said seabed. Then for our high seas definition, high seas is the areas beyond national jurisdiction and open to all states, whether coastal or landlocked. And for the high seas are the parts of the ocean that is don't belong to the any country. Walang may pagmamay-ari, that's the high seas definition, no. No one owns this water. So any country can use this high seas whether they are from coast or not, no. Kahit na Philippines, China, Taiwan, Thailand, walang may pagmamay-ari nitong tinatawag natin na high seas. So any country can use this high seas whether they have coast or not. Just for example, you are sailing in the middle of the ocean, far away from any land or country. That place we called it as a high seas. So where everywhere can travel freely, but then again, we used to have those responsibilities na sinasabi natin under the maritime law. So kahit na sabihin natin na walang may-ari nitong high seas na 'to, but we must be responsible on those activities na sinabi natin kanina. Then high seas coastal state powers. So for high seas coastal state powers, no state may claim sovereignty and jurisdiction mainly by flag state of the vessel. So pagdating dito, no country owns the water. So no coastal state has the full control here. Walang mamayari kasi walang may control kasi wala ding may-ari. So instead, the main power belongs to the country that the ship flies its flags under, called the flag state. So that the flag state is the responsible for making sure that its ships is follow the international law. Sabi ko nga, kahit na walang may-ari nitong tinatawag nating high seas, pero si flag state, siya yung responsible sa actions na gagawin ni vessel. So every actions na ginagawa ni vessel kapag meron siyang anomalya na ginagawa, pananagutan yan ni flag state. Again, tandaan natin yung pinag-aralan natin last week na si flag state, meron siya pananagutan pagdating sa maritime law na ini-enforce ito ni coastal state. Tapos si coastal state mag-a-under naman siya kay port state. Kaya again, kahit na ito ay high seas, we must be responsible kasi the flag state that your ship is flying to is the responsible for your actions pagdating sa ating high seas. And again, for example, if the ship is flying a flag of Philippines, again, when sailing to the high seas, the Philippines is the responsible enforcing rules for the ship. So even though it is outside the Philippine water, the Philippines is responsible because the vessel is registered in the Philippines because that is its flag state. Then high seas ships rights and responsibilities. So freedom of navigation, fishing, scientific research, and must comply with international laws such as preventing privacy. So on these high seas, ships from any country have the freedom to sail anywhere, fish, and conduct scientific research. Meron silang kalayaan na gawin yung gusto na lang gawin, but then again, magfo-fall ulit tayo sa maritime law. They can fish and they conduct scientific research, but they must follow international law such as the rules against the piracy, pollution, and illegal fishing. Just for example, a research from Japan can study ocean life in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but it cannot attack or steal from other ships because piracy is illegal everywhere. No, pwede nilang gawin yung mga bagay na they can sail, they can fish, and they conduct scientific research. But then again, when you apply the rules, you should not do such rules against the piracy, pollution, and illegal fishing. Then, for our conclusion, UNCLOS defines the rights and responsibilities clearly, and understanding maritime zones is the key to compliance and conflict prevention. So again, in conclusion, UNCLOS is more than just a set of rules. It is foundation that brings order, fairness, and cooperation to the vast and sometimes challenging ocean of the environment. So by clearly defining the rights and responsibilities of coastal states and ships, so it prevents disputes and protects our shared marine resources for the future generations. Then, as a future maritime professionals like your deep understanding of these maritime zones and laws empowers you to navigate safely and uphold international standards and contribute to the peaceful and responsible use of the seas worldwide. So remember, the ocean connects us all, and respecting its laws ensures a safer and more sustainable future for everyone who depends on it. And sino ba yung magbe-benefit diyan? Tayong lahat, especially as seafarers. Kasi dito nagsisimula or dito, ito yung pinagmumulan ng ating trabaho. So for our formative assessment, our assessment for today, digital illustration of 5 maritime zones, including the continental shelf and seabed, and explain first the power exercised by the coastal state in the each zone or shelf, and the rights and responsibilities that the ship may exercise in each zone or shelf. So our task is to create a digital illustrations like drawing, diagram, or infographic that clearly shows the 5 maritime zones, including the continental shelf and seabed. So for your illustration, you should visually represent the zones from the coast outward. For example, the internal waters, territorial sea, contiguous zone, exclusive economic zone, high seas, and continental shelf and seabed. And label each zone clearly. Again, visually represent the zones from each zones from coast outward, namely the international waters, territorial sea, contiguous zone, exclusive economic zone, high seas, and the continental shelf and seabed. And label each zone clearly, and along with your illustration, you should provide a short, easy to understand explanation for each zone about first, their powers that the coastal state exercise in that zone or shelf, and next, the rights and responsibilities that the ships have when sailing or operating their zone, that zone. So tips for your illustration or explanation, use colors or patterns to distinguish each zone. And also show that the baseline or the coast as your starting point, and also keep your explanation simple. So imagine that you're teaching a new seafarer. Huwag niyo masyadong laliman yung mga explanation. It is more about on the context of your illustration. And examples, use icons like ship, gumamit kayo ng mga figures like ship, oil rig, or fishing net in which it can help make your work clearer. So again, I will post it on your G class for more for your instructions, no, para mas maliwanag at mas maintindihan nyo, no. And if you have a questions regarding with this with our topic, the floor is open. No, you can use your virtual hand to raise your concerns and your questions para discuss natin or paliwanag natin ngayon kung medyo naguguluhan kayo sa ating topic. Okay, so if there's no question, we can start our activity. But if there's a question, we can entertain and use your virtual hand. Thank you.